This episode of the Shit Dad podcast is brought to you by All Inn Brewing.
They've got their new It's Just Not Cricket IPL India Pale Lager for sale now. Now, some tasting notes for this one. Like the name suggests, our favourite summer pastime has not been without its controversy. From streakers on the field to ball tampering and match fixing. Now, to celebrate summer, we have created a beer that's not without its own stigmas. It's hoppy like an IPA, but crisp like a lager. Enjoy our take on an India Pale Lager. Hops are Galaxy and Comet, and it's bloody good.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Shit Dad Podcast.
Celebrating the mistakes that all parents make. You're listening to the Shit Dad podcast. G'day, and thanks for joining us at the Shit Dad podcast, where we try to change you from lad to quintessential Aussie dad while celebrating the fatherhood wins and bins that come with it. I'm Nick.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Dave.
And we thank you once again for taking the time out of your busy days to have a listen and share your fatherhood stories. Boys, this episode we're talking all things kids in sport. But first, I can't get the kids to stay in bed, boys. You know how I don't know
Throughout the night or at the beginning?
Oh, mate. No, it's at the beginning of the night, it's okay for now. And throughout the night, it's like they're in and out and carrying on a bit. But in the morning, as soon as the sun comes up, fuck, I hate summer now. Like, for the record, I love summer. But
Queensland summer.
Queensland summer, man.
daylight saving.
It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, the sun's up. And then the minute the sun's up, they're up. So this morning, for example, I was down watching English Premier League at stupid o'clock. So I've heard footsteps running up and down the hallway upstairs. So I've run upstairs and gone, like full dad voice, dad voice whispering. And I spent the full next hour from 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock trying to get the boys to stay in their bed. Yeah. Because they're so feral.
They're too old for the grow clocks now, aren't
Yeah,
they? Because
yeah.
grow clocks are really for like toddlers.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just feral throughout the day. Like if they are up so early, this is the point of it. I want them to stay in bed later so that they're not disgusting throughout the day.
Is it one of those things, I'm about to encounter this, with 3 of them, if one's up, they wake up all the others?
If one is up, they are finding a toy that they can all play with, and then they are going to wake the other 2 up to play with that toy. And then it's just bedlam because I don't care if they do that, as long as I stay asleep. But as soon as the missus wakes up, she goes bunter because she's like, I don't want to wake up before 6 o'clock. And she does not listen to this episode and this podcast, thankfully. But yeah.
And I'm going to turn the GoPro up right now.
Yeah.
No, I think it's pretty valid. Like keeping them in bed, it's impossible. Like as soon as they're out of the cot and they can walk.
Yeah. Like toilet stops.
Yep.
Straight away. They want to go to the toilet like 5 times within the hour just because that's the only way they're allowed to get out of bed.
Yep.
Like they hide in each other's rooms. So like they think I'm stupid, I swear. Like they hide in each other's rooms and like you just know that they're just whispering and I can hear them from the other room. I'm like, do you boys think I'm stupid? Like just so I don't wake the missus up as well.
Yes.
And then they like kick on the wall to make sure that you know that they're awake, but they're lying in their bed. So it's like they're playing games with you. It's crazy.
Oh,
they
so
make
they're playing,
stupid noises.
They're doing like mental warfare.
Yeah,
as
it is.
well.
Yeah.
I'm in bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And never said how I needed to be in bed.
That's exactly right. So like this morning, Mr. 5 was like lying upside down with his head on the floor and his body on the bed, or like legs on the bed.
Yep.
And he goes, I'm in bed. I was like, anyway, boys, let's crack into a couple of jokes to kick off the day. I asked the train driver how many times he'd derailed, and he said it was hard to keep track.
Right.
I don't know if that was good or bad.
What are caterpillars most afraid of? Dogapillars.
Yeah, like that.
What generation does Forrest Gump belong to? Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
Fuck, there's some top ones there, boys.
Still not our best.
I don't know if we've had a week. That is our best. And that's the idea of it. That is.
Now, anyone listening, please get in touch with us. Send in your dad jokes so we don't have to get dodgy ones every week. shitdadpod@gmail.com. Easy way to get in touch. Flick us some photos of some, weird things that you've seen on the side of the road, like in the group chat. At shitdadpod on Instagram and the shitdadpod podcast group on Facebook. Obviously, you can also follow the Shit Daddery Booster Yarn, which is our private chat. Lots of things flying around the last few days or so.
That's where our segment. Yeah, that's where our segments are coming from, and we're getting the listeners involved in our segments. So, if you want to get involved in the show without calling in or anything like that, get involved in the Shit Daddery Booster Yarn chat.
Don't forget to follow and leave 5-star reviews on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And of course, the Shit Dad Shareline, 07 30 40 95 45, if you want to call in and leave a funny story or even a question.
Yeah, right. Sweet. I've got heaps of shirts left actually as well. So we're between the sizes. If you're really small, good, because we got the Smashing Fibers shirts left, and they're the nice sport fit ones. And then they're about the medium, small and mediums. But then we have the big boy shirts, and they're from XL to triple XL.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So we got a fair few shirts left. So get involved. They're only $20. Helps us stay alive and keep the show kicking as well. So that'd be really appreciative. But we're going to kick off straight away with a bit of social shit daddery, guys. Where basically we read, when you just scroll on Facebook, Instagram, and like those things come up that just tickle you the right way. So
are you guys the same as me, where like you'll sit on the couch at nighttime, your wife's on the other couch, and you're just like sending each other these weird parenting things on Instagram in DMs, not even talking to each other?
Exactly. Yeah. Do you know? Have you ever been to the stage where you're not fighting, but you're not fighting, and you like send each other passive aggressive memes as well? You ever done that? It's a bit of
Why
fun.
are you talking to me?
So I picked up one this week that I thought was quite funny. It tickled me in the right spot. And a rival dad told me one of my tyres looked low in front of some other dads. So I pressure washed a small but visible corner of his driveway to show him what it could look like.
It's a power move.
Yeah, speaking of passive aggressive.
I did see that one. I thought that's good. I thought about getting the gurney out, come around.
Mate, I got stains on everything. It's crazy. Like, get your heads out of the gutter. Oh, Jesus. But my front tyre it had a slow leak a couple of weeks ago now, and my neighbour came out. It wasn't in front of any other dads, thankfully, but he came out and goes, "Oh, you got a slow leak," and I was just like, "Ugh." But I had to go somewhere, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. So I just like drove really, really slow up to the servo and just topped it up, got where I needed to be, and came back and just let it deflate again.
There you go. Safety first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You pumped it up.
There were no kids in the car. It's cool.
You weren't driving on the rim, so that's fine.
Here I was though last week, talking about how excited I was. I got the 3 car seats in, ultimate dad mode. Took the car for its annual checkup, and there's a nail in the tire. So once again, I'm not really that safe at the moment either.
I honestly thought you were going to say because sometimes when they take for repairs or service or something, they decide to take the car seats out. So I thought that you were going to say they took the car seats out. I'd be furious.
Cut someone.
You fucking serious?
Yeah, I've had that happen to me because I used to do car seat fitting as a job, a second job, and people would come back the next week and be like, I got this fitted last week and I paid $40 and I took it for service and they took it out. Can you do it again without paying the $40 again? I was like, if the boss asks, no. But yeah, I'll do it real quick for you.
But also swing us a 6-pack.
Yeah. That's a little side hustle.
That is a good side hustle.
That's crazy. No, I've never had a mechanic take out a car seat. So maybe they're just not doing it properly and just taking more money.
Maybe I got a shit mechanic.
Yeah.
Maybe. That is true.
I saw something this week, guys, on Instagram. It was some really good daddy dinner inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a wife had left her husband in charge of cooking dinner for the whole family, and he decided to make a Jurassic Park giant mountain out of mashed potato, covered in gravy, looked like a volcano, and then got broccoli as trees, and then the dinosaur nuggets going around it. It looked
that's
absolutely epic.
Glorious.
It looked like a cake.
You wouldn't want to eat it. You
No.
just that's very good.
No. So that's in my wheelhouse. Air fryer and mashed potato. I think I can handle that one.
That's it. Like I think we've spoken about before on the show, where you just cover your table in a tablecloth that you're happy just to be ruined, and just chuck it all on there, and just give the kids forks.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Like a little bit older, probably your age, Spence.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And then just go off you go.
I might try that Jamashik Park.
Yeah.
Good. I wanted to try a new little thing with you boys again this week as well. Just a bit of trial and error to see what you guys like. I like just springing shit on you just to see if you like it or not.
Everything's sprung on me when I done.
When you do no prep at all.
I had a tough day. All right? I'm back at work. It's 4 weeks in.
You
When are
poor
these
thing.
when are these holidays again?
Oh, mate.
You're a poor teacher.
7 more weeks.
Imagine having to be a teacher. It's called job descriptions. I'm obviously going to try and come up with a better name for it.
Do you describe jobs?
I'll
People do?
I'll basically
Okay.
read out over exaggerated job descriptions of listeners that so if you want to send in yours, send in just basically the wrong answer of tell us what you do without telling us what you do. And I'll read it out to the boys and they've got 5 seconds to guess. So
Now, do you want real answers or wrong answers only from us too?
no, real answers from you. You
Okay.
guys actually have to guess what it is. I don't have
I
a
haven't
timer.
seen any of these.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, cool.
I have fucking no idea.
I don't have a timer on the amp at the moment, so I'm completely unprepared for this as well. So I'm just going to count in my head.
Or are you just going to go on the
2.
background? Tick tock, tick
Done.
tock.
Let's do that. Okay. You got 5 seconds, boys.
Okay.
All right. Number 1. I help people communicate with objects in space. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Phone salesman?
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, Telstra.
tick, tock. Boy, bing, bing, bing. Yep, that's it. Phone towers. Number 2. You got it right on the buzzer there. That was good. Number 2. Shh.
Librarian.
Yeah. Half a second. That was good. I made the mistake of not asking this listener what he actually did, so I still don't know what this one is, but I'd love to hear what you guys think it is. Turn weeds into food for house seeds. Turn weeds into food for house seeds.
Weeds into food. A gardener?
Yeah, like a lawn
Florist?
mower.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So if that's if you put that in the chat, whoever that was, I'm gonna hit you up because I'm flummoxed.
Flummoxed.
I don't even think I'm going to concentrate on the next couple. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Weed into food. All right, there's the next one. I'm the reason everyone has stuff. Tick tock.
Trucky.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So didn't know that one
Oh,
either.
well, yeah.
This segment's going so well.
It's a good start. It's a very good start. Okay, ready? An ideas man. Tick tock, tick
That's me.
Scientist.
tick tock. What do you actually do?
I don't
Marketing.
really know.
Marketing. Yeah.
Something in advertising.
That was my ploy to try and figure out what you actually do. Like get a label on it.
He
All right.
still hasn't fucking answered that.
No,
We're
something
still-
in marketing.
We still don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay.
I'm like Chandler Bing. No one really
you're a
knows what I do.
Transponster. That's not even a real word. All right. I kick balls.
Coach.
Good. Yeah, that's Scotty, friend of the show, Scotty. Ideas man. He kicks balls as a PE teacher. Next one. Customer facing meat technician.
Butcher. That's great. I feel like a different kind of meat technician would be one of the world's oldest professions.
Prostitution. All right. And the last one, hose jockey. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Fireman.
Yeah, nice, good. All right, that's job descriptions. TBD, TBC. Name
Good
for the
name.
segment. Yeah,
Listeners, send in shitdadpod@gmail.com.
please do, and also send in your tell us what you do without telling us what you do for the next segment.
I'm just going to send you the clip from Happy Gilmore where he's gone through multiple jobs at the start.
yeah, I like that.
That's what you got to guess.
Right, the next seg. The next one on Bentley's list of random segments. Okay, this one is called 6 or Less. You've got 6 words or less to say whatever the topic is for the week. And this week's topic is, what could your kid be famous for? And it's obviously a wrong answers only thing. So what could your kid be famous for in 6 words or less? I'm going to start. No, I'm not, because I lost it.
Okay, well, then I'll start.
No, got it. Ready? Selective hearing undisputed world champion.
Whoa. You had a bit of time to think about that.
I did.
That's
so
good.
I'm just setting the standard.
This is his segment, remember?
Yeah, I'm just setting the standard so you guys know what we're talking about.
Well, then mine's really shit, but mine's weightlifting with teeth.
Oh, that's good. That's real good. I like that.
Anything that goes near that mouth is
Yeah.
in the teeth
Yeah, that's real
and
good.
is like a locked jaw.
Yeah, can't get it
Oh.
out.
Yeah.
Like a snapping turtle.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
What do you got,
Alright.
Cameron?
He's counting on
Pooping
his
in the
fingers.
bathtub. Professional pooper in the bathtub.
Oh, that's really good. How good. All right. We've got a couple of guys who sent something in on
Was that
shit.
at the waffle sup?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you get it out.
Professional waffle sup.
Oh my god. We had some guys some dads send in their entries on the Shit Daddery Booster yarn as well, and one was famous for being my son. One was rugby league if he keeps going. This is before I stipulated that was wrong answers only, because his son just signed for the NRL, the Melbourne Storm.
Oh,
Yeah, so good on him.
congrats.
Defense lawyer against bedtime routine. Most sand removed from childcare centre. And this is my favourite. Largest collection of boogers picked and eaten. Oh my god! And
meal.
yeah, exactly. And the last one was professional mess maker. So classic act. Well done. Thanks for the boys who got involved in that one. And yeah, keep them coming. Same place as we said before. shitdadpod@gmail.com or @shitdadpod on Instagram.
Nice.
Give us a spell. The dads have gone to knock the top off a cold one and have a captain cook. The ankle biters aren't giving their mum some strife. They'll be back in a sec. Don't blow your top. All right, we are back with Shaun from Yeah the Dads Clothing. We're really excited to have Shaun on board to talk with us this week about kids in sport. That's what we're having a chat about, why it's important, what we love about it, and yeah, let's kick it off, boys. What do you think kids in sport is important?
I've seen it like firsthand, coaching for so many years now.
Yeah,
Different sports, just their ability to be social.
yeah,
And that's team sports, but chuck into those individual sports of like swimming, quite often tennis and all of those. It just builds that resilience
yeah.
and that determination in them.
Definitely.
So then you see that kind of come, being the teacher, you see that come into their studies and in their classroom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You see it grow as well.
Yeah, well, you do. Like you see those kids who are resilient and that can bounce back.
Yeah.
And then you see the other kids. Some of those kids that you see are natural talents, like should be just going number one in the world with what they are, but have no drive and have no real like passion. But then you see someone who was like, yeah, you're good, but just has this drive to be the best, and they just outplay them.
That's gold.
On the field and then off the field too.
There you go. So it's all about mindset.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like we talk so much about mental health on the pod as well, and how it's so important to look after your own mental health. And I think there's no better way as a bloke and a dad than do some sort of sport. And if you're talking about kids in sport, if they see you playing sport, living a healthy lifestyle, they're like sponges. They do whatever you do pretty much. So they're more likely to get involved in sport and live that healthier lifestyle and essentially have a better mental health through their teenage years, you'd hope, from getting into it. Yeah, so just basically talking about the setting the standard, but we're talking about pros and cons of sport there, Shaun. Yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, boys, I think, firstly, thanks for having me on the podcast. I feel like an honourable shit dad right now, so I appreciate you having me on. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the big thing for my kids is really just we've gone the route of going, you can play whatever you want to play. Because it's like for example, it's like I'd rather the kids just play something that they have fun with, and mostly at the age that they're at, it's like to really entrench in them, especially in team sports, like that. You're not always going to win, but if you work with your mates and you work as a team, you can get a good outcome together. And I think you learn a lot of good skills as a kid, and you don't even know you're doing it for later in life, especially for when you go into like your working life as well. I think it's so important for the kids these days to understand winning and losing is a thing, and then also how they, manage their emotions around that. Because it's a tough thing. I remember as a kid for myself, like losing a game of footy was like the worst thing ever, and I wouldn't talk to people for like a week.
Yeah.
It's like looking back, I go, oh mate, you're 13 years old. It's probably not the biggest thing ever, but at the time, it was like the world.
I was actually going to bring that up with you as well, like thinking about your relationship with sport as a kid compared to watching your kids play now, and like the mentality behind like how serious you take it.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm very, very different to what I thought I would have been as a dad. I was a mad rugby league man when I grew up, and like lived and breathed the sport and played it till I was probably about 26. And like I initially thought like, oh, if I have a boy, that's like the only thing he's going to do. And my son is very similar to me. When I until I started to go through puberty, like I didn't want to tackle anyone, didn't want to get hit. I was like, please don't come near me. And then as soon as I started to get some testosterone in my body, I just wanted to like rip people's heads.
Cool.
Which is just like normal, I think, for boys. But my son's very similar. Like he started playing rugby league when we lived in New South Wales and just hated the contact and hated the sport. And like, I think it could have gone two routes there with like going like, no, you're playing it. I think some parents are super passionate about the kids doing something that they love.
They're called sports dads.
Yeah, the sports dads.
Yeah, and they're especially vocal on the sideline.
Yeah, well, I saw many sports dads. But we went the route of just like, mate, just play whatever makes you happy. And then for a while, my girls play netball, which they love. But for a while, I thought my son wasn't going to play sport at all. But now he's a massive AFL man, and because we moved to Melbourne. And then he wants to get into baseball and ice hockey as well. So
wow.
I think it just goes to show like they'll find their sport, they'll find their time, find something that they love. And 99% of the time, I think kids will find it with their mates as well, which has been probably the biggest highlight for him.
And do you get into those sports as well and learn more about them, having maybe not known as much? Yeah,
well, boys, the funniest thing is when we moved from, you boys might be similar being from Queensland, it's like rugby league's like just through your blood. Like I had no clue about AFL. Harper come home from school and goes, Dad, I want to play AFL with my friends. I go, yes, sweet, let's do it. And
so you'd be like, I have no son.
Yeah, I was like, you're dead to me. No, I know a couple of the dads through school and stuff, and like the first game we went to, I was on the sideline, and I kid you not when I say I've got no clue about AFL. So like we're sitting there and like, yeah, Harper, like the ball gets kicked to him and he catches it. I'm sitting there going, great catch, mate, great catch. And the other dad's like, mate, it's called a mark.
Who's Mark?
And I go, oh, cool. Yeah, I was like, thanks for the terminology. And then I'm calling out like penalty and like, all this stuff. It's like a rugby league thing, and they're just looking at me like I'm alien. And then week 2, I had to do the flags behind the goalpost because they traded all around. And mate, it was the most anxiety I've ever had in my life, trying to swing 2 flags at the right time.
The little 12.
Hold on a second. I just thought they just did that for fun. I didn't know there was an actual like.
No, they're not cheerleaders.
So if their fingers go up and then they go pick up the flags, like, yeah, mate, check this out. Just waving to their mate down the other end.
Yeah, there's a science. So supposedly the dude on the other end is supposed to do the same thing at the same time too. It's bloody bizarre.
Oh, you never see that on TV.
Oh, mate, the sport gets weirder the deeper you get into it. Very bizarre.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's been good to get involved in it. Good to see him like find a sport he loves, and then the girls play netball and they absolutely love it. That's more physical than football sometimes. So
yeah, and uber competitive.
Yeah. Both the girls are probably more competitive than my boy at the moment, but my youngest just started playing competitive netball, so she's in under 9s. Like it's the first time they can win or lose. And they've won their first game 6-0 and then 23-0. So I don't. The confidence is a bit too high. So I'm hoping they get beaten.
You need to knock it down a peg or two.
Yeah, I'm like, mate, come on, it's not bloody Suncorp netball, whatever they call it yet. You need to calm down.
You will
So,
never make
nah,
the
but it's good.
Firebirds.
I was like, you will play for the Swifts. But yeah, it's good. I think it's really important. And same thing you boys said, like the social aspect as well is super, super key. The kids love it. And just to get them out of the house and wear them out a bit, I think it's an awesome thing for them.
It's a great how they make friends. Like any team sport you make, they make friends. Any like non-team sport, there's the ability to make friends with like competitors or whatever. But I think from the dad's perspective, it's so good to like just chat to other dads. And like, let's be honest, I did soccer last year with the young fella, and most of the parents were dads. Like, it was great. We just like there was a bit of small talk thrown around and a bit of shit chat, but it was really good. And you sort of make those connections, and depending on how close you get, you can have those connections for a long time. So
I'm looking forward to that. As you guys know, I'm the resident non-sports guy on the podcast.
what are you talking about?
Growing up, my parents got me into. I tried out soccer, cricket, even AFL at one point, and I wasn't really a team sports guy. So that's when I got into swimming and tennis. So much more around the individual sports, but it was good because that was my choice. And obviously, a few of us growing up did similar kind of sports, so you could still do it with other people, but race yourself. But I'm excited about all of those things, being the dad on the sideline, because obviously, like, I never really experienced that myself. Sign the kids up for nippers as well
nice.
for next
Oh,
year.
nice.
I just want to like give everything like a go once and see what sticks.
Yeah.
That's something that I've said with the missus as well. So the girls I've got two girls, and they can do whatever they want. Like my 4-year-old at the moment runs around, goes, her talk about being older is when I'm a bigger, higher girl. When I'm a bigger, higher girl, can I play rugby league or can I play football? I'm like, you can play whatever you want. I said, I prefer golf or tennis so you can make some money and bring your dad around.
Don't do dancing because it costs too much.
But the one kind of, I guess, I say expectation around it is if you commit to something, I prefer, unless they're hating it, but see the whole season out. Because you've committed to something, and again that comes down to I guess probably me trying to push on, onto my kids about you've committed, and if it's a team sport, that team's relying on you
to be there. Yeah, well, that also I think it also depends on their personality as well. So, Mr. Sevens obviously, as you know, pretty quiet and isn't very competitive in that. So he played soccer last year. And he did not give an F about anything. He'd like watch the sky and see planes and just like, if the ball came near him, half the time he'd just like swing at it and miss, and he didn't care. It was which is great because that's his personality. But I think it's important for parents. You don't need to harp on about it, but I think it's important for parents to know that not all kids want to play team sports. So like, let them if they don't want to play team sport, they should probably see out the season for you, like to be there for your team and help your team, but. Go for the more individual sports to see if they still want to do that. Because obviously anything's better than nothing.
Yeah, I think every kid also in that sense there'll be a stage where they find the sport or the moment for them where they like it all comes out. Because it's like, at a certain age, it's like, some kids aren't going to give two shits about sport, but then it might tick in at like 14, 15, 16 where they're like, oh man, I love this, and they start like absolutely killing it. So I think it's just like same as when your kids grow up and like one person's kid will walk at a year's old, one person's kid will walk at 6 months old. It's like they just do it at different times.
We had a bit of the story, the volleyball story.
That's right. At high school, we would have been 15, 16.
Yeah.
We figured out that if we all applied for volleyball, we could all get in the same team together, all us mates, and it was great because that spurred us on to then really enjoy it because we were like literally an entire team of best mates,
and we turned out really quite good at it.
Yeah.
And we went to schools cups and like all the rep comps and stuff. It was good.
I think we got a bronze in Division C.
Not
to brag.
I've still got the yogurt lid medal.
I used to do that all the time though. Figured it out like grade 11, grade 12. I could try and make one of the more competitive sides, or go, no, I'm not trialing. Can I just play in one of those teams? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. And then you just sit there and have fun with your mates.
Yeah, sit in the corner eating crayons.
It's generally grass on the cricket field, mate. All right, okay.
Let's talk cons, boys. What are some of the cons of kids in sport? We've spoken about like sports dads and the overzealous parents on the sideline.
Waking up fucking early on the weekend.
Yeah. There's one. You lose your Saturday morning. Yeah.
Well, I've heard from many dads who've got maybe 3 kids plus even that you just kind of divide and conquer with your partner. All right, see you later tonight. You just go off and do your sport. Is that the same for you, Shaun?
Yeah, well, we're lucky. The girls play on Saturday and Harper plays on Sunday. So, but the girls play because they're super split in ages. It's like super early in the morning and one's in the afternoon. So it's like you just got this weird time frame of in the middle where you just can do nothing with your life. Wait around for the under 13s netball game to come on. So yeah, it's very, very bizarre. I think it goes to show your life kind of changes a bit and you're in a different season and you just got to ride through it. But I guess you wouldn't have it any other way. It's like,
that's right.
I find the weirdest thing about sport is I'm more nervous watching my kids play than I ever was playing.
Because you just want to see them do well, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I never understood it until I became a dad, but it was weirdest feeling alive, just hyperventilating because the girls are down by 2 in netball games. And basically nothing. So.
Is that because you're worried about her, or did you have money on it with the other dads?
I mean, you was going to have a sneaky one on the side.
It's called the beer bet.
Yeah.
What about travel?
Oh, mate, we're lucky. All the stuff's pretty local. We live close to Melbourne CBD, so it's not like they have to travel regional. When I was a kid, we had to travel 2-3 hours for a game of footy, so it was pretty crazy. But it was some good times too, jumping in the car with the boys, having a yarn. But
footy trips.
Yeah, it's not too bad for us.
See, netball, that's a bit of a positive because they are generally at that one location.
Yeah, they just play at the same spot every week. That's good.
Yeah, well, that is good. Have you been the scorer much, Shaun, for the netball?
Hey, I've done it two weeks in a row. The last 2 weeks.
Oh, have you?
I'm almost gone professional. To be honest.
I did it. Not for one of my kids. I did it for my wife when she was playing outdoors. And Dad said, I felt like someone from the other team was just watching me like a hawk. You haven't marked that. And I was like, it's a centre pass. I've just counted in my head. It's them and then them and then them. But come on, why do I need to mark it on this piece of paper?
Yeah.
You got to do it. I'm like, fucking okay.
Sorry, lady.
Okay.
Don't mess with those netball ladies.
Please don't kill me.
Netball's intense. You don't want to get around those ladies. They'll bump and roll you pretty quickly.
How's your maths for the AFL scoring? Have you had to do that yet?
Oh, mate, I've got no clue. I've got my calculator out each week.
So we can't see you doing the darts refereeing for a kid.
Oh, I'd be done, mate. I'd be done. I'd have to get GPT chat or something like that. I'd be struggling.
There's something for you that we can bring out next time. Little cheat sheets for those dads that have no idea about their sports their kids are doing. So for you walk around with the scoring, so terminology. It's not a catch, it's mark. It's not.
A couple little slang words for the boys.
Yeah,
easy one there.
We our new shit dad sports merch.
Yeah, maybe I can put an AirPod in and just have the AI talking to me when I go to a Dolphins game. Yeah, I know what's happening.
Pricing. That was the last thing I wanted to talk about. Kids in sport. Have you guys seen how effing expensive sport is for kids? Depending on what sport.
Yeah. I've heard that soccer is really expensive.
Yeah, soccer's crazy.
Yeah, I think we had to pay last year. I think it was $450. For both of my boys, for him, for Mr. 7 to jump in to the more competitive one, and Mr. 5 to jump into the kick a ball eating crayons one, it was $650, $700. It was crazy.
That's some expensive crayons, boy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the good shit. There's the big thick Crayola ones. But yeah, we got him in. This is coming up in my shit dad story, but yeah, we got him into Taekwondo recently, and it seems quite good. Yeah, price wise.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, what about AFL? What's that like down there? Price wise?
Mate, it's relatively good because most of they do a really good job of subsidising it through AFL. So you don't pay much at all. I think we registered our boy for $120 or something like that.
Oh, that's so cheap, isn't it?
I was going to say
pretty cheap.
That's something that AFL are doing so well.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
Up here in Brizzy, Auskick will come to schools and it's $50 and they get 10 weeks and they get a little mini football, a bag and all this shit too. It's crazy.
Yeah, they kill it. I think they kill the grassroots. So I really was trying to encourage my kids into competitive walking because of the cost, but I just couldn't get across.
You can do it anywhere.
What's the lingo for walking? Like, what are we putting on the cheat sheet for that? Good stride. That's an excellent stride. Look at the gait on him. Oh, that's fantastic.
Just heels and toes and hips, boys.
Oh, that's too good. Anyone else have anything on kids in sport?
I think, like you spoke about pros and cons. Ultimately, there's not a lot of cons apart from more of the, the impact on the dad or the parents.
The inconvenience
really.
for the parents. Yeah,
Can't imagine there really being that many cons unless
No.
your kid's getting bullied and you don't know.
That's
so
true,
yeah, it seems like a no-brainer.
well said. Yeah,
No, nothing from
good.
me. Actually, talking about that, I was going to say it earlier. Our girls do a little sports program. So
yes.
So they're not yours is 4, mine's almost 4, and what do they call it? Ants.
Ants in your pants.
Yeah, ants. And they do.
Shout out to them. They are phenomenal.
He's unreal.
Yeah.
Nick. But they go each week. They do half an hour, 45 minutes, and little. I guess it's all the sports, but targeted for those young kids.
Yeah, I think they do 2 sports a term. So basically, they do 4 weeks of each sport, and then after each sport, they have like a fun day where they just run around and carry on. But yeah, basically, this bloke comes to a park. You all rock up. I think it's like $170 a term. I think it works out. It's pretty cheap. Works out as like $16-17 a session. But it's like money well spent. Like good for confidence, team, like playing in a team, making friends, coordination, resilience.
motor skills,
It's phenomenal. Motor skills. I love it. Yeah, it's phenomenal. Money well spent.
So
Every
those,
day. of the week.
those with young kids, try to find a program out your way if you can. But the one up here in Brizzy's Ants in Your Pants, I'm sure there'll be plenty around. But yeah, I think it's great.
Yep. Lovely. All right. Thanks very much again, Shaun, for coming on, mate. We'd love to probably get you on for an episode and hear your dad's story all together because I'm sure you'd have some good shit daddery by the sounds of things.
I would love to jump on, boys. Please let me know when the schedule will suit, and I'll make myself available.
Let's make that happen, mate. But before we let you go, mate, we want to introduce you to our favourite segment of the week. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Shit Dad moment of the week. Thought you'd like
Is that a pre-record, or did you just do that?
I don't know what you're talking about, mate. That's just I just got that off Spotify.
It took quite a few
just
takes.
off the cuff. Hey, gold. Adele's got to run for a month.
Hello, shit daddery. All right. Right. Do you have any shit daddery you want to share with the crew there, or do you want to just see how we go first and see what you can come up with?
Yeah, you boys are gonna have to get me in the lingo of what shit daddery is. So
Righto, mate. I'll get you in the mood. I'll set the mood for us. Ready? So,
Please.
like I said before, got the boys into Taekwondo this last week, and like we were talking about before, is like it's all good for your like resilience, confidence, chatting, everything. It's really good. Like making friends, listening, and most of all, respect, because they don't take shit. Even doesn't matter how like mouthy your kid is, they don't take shit from anyone, and I love it. So basically, the entire the shit dad side of things was I was sitting there watching my watching my boys like do this Taekwondo stuff, and they were like using muscles they've never used before, and some of the facials were phenomenal. It was like, oh, like screwed up face up in the air, like looking up at the sky, like wincing and like looking over at me, like tears in their eyes, and I'm just sitting there laughing my head off. I didn't even feel bad because I was like, and it didn't help that they had been little jerks like prior to it as well. So like it was like all legitimate pain that they were happy to go through. Well, not at the time, but then so that continued for probably 40 minutes after, like when they started getting pain because they weren't getting the moves right. So he split them off with one of the other black belt, like a younger black belt, to teach them the moves. And they were like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm sitting in the background just pissing myself laughing. It was so good. But I must say, for the resilience side of things, whatever they're teaching him at school is working a dream, because he came up to me afterwards, Mr. Five came up to me afterwards and said, Daddy, I was really sore and I didn't want to do it anymore, but I used my Griffin grit and kept going right to the end. I was like, yes, fuck yeah.
Griffin grit.
School. So, yeah, that's my shit dad story.
Well, that's all you can.
We were speaking a little bit earlier off air around staying present and not going on your phone. So this is something I'm definitely guilty of. And the other night I was with my son in his room, just having quiet time right before bed, reading some books. And he often just fluffs around as they do. I found myself unconsciously pick up my phone and have a scroll. And he's pretty good. Like he'd just go, "Dad, put down your phone," and I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." Like keeping me present, back in the moment. But this time around, instead of saying that, he came up to me and he looks me dead in the eye and he goes, "Stop fluffing around."
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, "Where have you heard that from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I say it to you every morning when you're getting ready for daycare." And I'm like, "Okay, yep, phone down. All right, sorry, mate. Full attention. I'm present."
At least it wasn't stop fucking around.
yeah.
That's good.
That'll come.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course it will. And in context, it's just so good, and it's in context. It's such a proud but shit dad moment. Mine, I'm actually throwing the missus under the bus for this one.
Good, David.
Ooh,
Yes, and
Dangerous.
Yeah,
Shit mum moment.
yeah. Well, she fucking deserves it for this one.
We do accept shit mum moments as well.
We do actually. It's actually awesome when we do.
Encouraged.
So last week, my shit proud dad moment about chugging the milk like a beer.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one came around milk again too. Miss Four was eating some cereal the other morning, and I managed to have like an extra 10 minutes sleep in somehow. Anyway, I got up, and the first thing I wake up to was like, "Try this. Does this taste funny?" From the wife. I'm like, "What the hell?"
God.
Okay. Anyway, so I tried a bit of the milk that was with the Nutri-Grain, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" Anyway, the milk was well and truly in date, so I think they fucked up the date on it. It was rank, and so Miss Four stuffs around quite a fair bit with her food at the moment, and then she's like to the missus, "This tastes funny." Anyway, the missus goes, "No, it doesn't. Just eat it." She ate the whole bowl, and then went to drink the milk like she does afterwards. Like, "This milk tastes funny again. It still tastes funny, Mum." "No, it doesn't." And then tried. It's like, "Oh, that's really bad."
It's not Nutri-Grain, it's Nutri-Stain.
Oh, it was bad. Like, I got just a tiniest little bit. I spat it out.
Oh, that's crook.
Yep. And I'm like, so milk in the household at the moment is
That's
the topic.
some good shit mummery. Hey?
I cannot believe though. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, when has she ever complained about milk tasting like shit?
Yeah.
All right, ever. Okay, she's normally like, "I'm not hungry." It's no, this tastes funny.
Yeah.
This tastes bad. Yeah, it fucking does, sweetie. It's like out of date milk.
Sour milk's never fun.
I'm just glad there has been no shits though.
Oh, yeah.
From the sour milk.
Yeah.
Phew.
Right, boys, we've got one from Ben on the Shit Dad Shareline, which is 07 30 40 95 45, and he's come on with this one.
G'day, lads. It's Benny. I've long time listener, first time caller. I got a little gem from my middle bloke. One day I had to take him to see a specialist about the old pipe work downstairs, and the doctor there, the specialist, he was this real old salty bloke, and Khan was a bit apprehensive, and he's standing in front of me while I'm sitting on the chair, and he says to Khan, "Now did you bring your willy, Khan?" Like that. Khan's face dropped. He spun around, faced me, opened his pants up, looked down, looked up at me and nodded, turned around to the doctor and nodded again, and the doctor and I both lost it.
Just checking.
You have to do the quality assurance check.
That doesn't happen later on, mate, until your missus takes the balls and puts it in a handbag.
No, mate, appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to getting you on for a podcast to talk about your fatherhood journey.
I look forward to it, boys. Thanks for having me on short notice, and we'll talk soon, yeah?
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, Sean.
See you, mate.
Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Good yarn, boys.
Oh.
He's a funny chap, hey.
It is, yeah.
And that was a really good insight on the kids in sport.
Yeah,
I
a bit
really
older.
love that.
That's kind of coming into the teenage years.
Yeah.
It's good to know. The sport just kind of never ends.
Yeah.
Strap yourselves in.
Strap
It's
yourself
sad
in,
though,
you're in for a
like
big
you
one.
said, I am looking forward to it. Just those times where, I made that joke about having to get up on the weekend or whatever. Who are we kidding? We're already up. So what's the difference? I mean, at least we can go out and enjoy something. Like you said, either it's talking to another dad or watching your kid, run around, or sit in the corner and eat crayons, one or the other. It doesn't matter. You're there and you're present with your kids.
Yeah.
So
And it's really good bonding. I can give you the tip.
yeah, looking forward to it.
Right. Does anyone have any lasting thoughts, final thoughts?
Guys, I don't want to get you too excited, but we're almost less than a month to go till the NRL season starts.
Yeah.
5th of March is the first game for the Dolphins, and they played their first preseason match yesterday, and
Yep.
they tied 22 all.
Yeah, good. Did you watch it?
Is that how you say it? All?
Yep.
All, yeah.
Yep.
Who did they
No, I
play
didn't
against?
watch it.
Do you know who they played against?
Cowboys.
Yes.
Nice.
Well done. Mine final thought was just making sure all the listeners out there jump on and support us in our Starlight Super Swim Challenge.
Yep.
I have outsourced some of my swimming.
Have ya? I didn't know we could do that. I'm keen.
I didn't know either. I'm just bending the rules.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pay it.
We're
No,
doing
at
well.
least someone's doing
Our
laps.
Ks are getting up.
Yeah.
No,
I
so
added mine today.
oh, did you? I've still got my pass sitting there.
Oh, cool. We're on 10K.
We're halfway.
Cool.
I need to join that, by the way, too. You guys want to show me?
Yeah, I just my final thoughts are there's no, like Cam said before, there's more upside to downside than joining your kids in sport. So, and it's nothing but good for them. So get involved and support your local sports team.
Anyone who lives in the north side of Brisbane as well, get your copy of Loving Nunda magazine, where we feature for this month. We're very excited about that.
You.
Shout out to All Inn Brewing and Ether as well.
How good. And obviously the boys that just came on. So Shaun from
Yeah,
the
the
Dads
Dads.
Clothing Co. So get on board. They're on Instagram as well. So hit them up and buy some of their shit. Other than that, have a great week.
Cheers, guys.
Peace.
Whether you came for some dad advice, a laugh, or some dad hacks, we thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen.
Please get involved on our socials at ShitDadPod on Instagram and TikTok, or ShitDad Podcast on Facebook, and of course the Shareline 07 30 40 95 45.
And support the guys who keep us rolling. Black Property Group and Anytime Fitness Griffin. Add value to your house with your dad bod out.
And don't forget, whether you're here for your kids daily or not, be present wherever you can, because we're all in the same boat when it comes to fatherhood for the kids.